I love this weather. That is only for you a problem.
Thank
Yes.
you so much, Dr. Olena, for taking out time and speaking to WION. First things first, there's a lot that's happening with these peace negotiations, and the fact that there could be a solution for Ukraine without Ukraine being on the table. How do you see it?
It's a nonsense, and there are some red lines. There are some very principled position for Ukraine, and one of them, of course, is that no talks about Ukraine without Ukraine. It will not work.
Why will it not work?
Because it is our destiny, it is our war, it is my country, you see, and how somebody else will decide what to do. This is our right to decide what will be our future, how we will live, how we will fight, how we will keep our independence at least. You see, so how another states can decide all this.
Right? There's been an idea floating for peacekeeping forces to be deployed in Ukraine. How tangible of this idea is?
Look, maybe later. I don't know, but not now. Now it is not possible for many reasons. Actually, first of all, let be um, very clear that Russia will never allow it, because if European countries will send troops, even as peacemakers, right? Mostly these are countries from NATO. How Russia can allow somebody from NATO side stay on the border with Ukraine, which is very close to Russia, then all this special operation was a nonsense. What for they provided? Then another reason is that how they could be successful. I mean, the peacekeepers from different countries. Is it possible? A lot of doubts again, because they should be very well skilled, equipped. I mean, not by military equipment, but they should understand how it will be dangerous to deal with Russian side. I'm not sure that they understand it.
The US State Department has termed this aggression as a conflict.
Uh-huh.
And with President Trump calling President Zelensky a dictator and a modestly successful comedian on the eve of when the special envoy for President Trump was to meet President Zelensky. What is the message?
I don't know what is the message. It's a message, sorry to say, about the stupidity. It's nonsense, because there is something very clear that Ukraine never planned this war. We never had a plan to invade Russia. What for? We were very happy with our territory, with our borders. So everyone knows that it was Russia who invaded Ukraine. We never planned, we never can imagine that it could be possible to have a full-scale invasion. They do all these things. They violated a lot of international laws, bilateral laws. They invaded us, and now United States say that we started this war. How I can react? It's a nonsense.
The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the French President Emmanuel Macron have proposed and backed a peacekeeping force, and that for the same matter, they're scheduled to meet the US President Trump next week, as per reports citing White House official on anonymity. Now, do you think such a force without the US, which has been rejected, is it viable?
As I said, I don't think it is viable. First of all, it is not possible in the nearest future. Secondly, because of the reason I mentioned previously, and also when United States said no, we are not sending troops to Ukraine, that how they can convince them. I don't know what they have in their pockets for changing this position. I'm not sure it's possible.
It's pretty clear that there will be no return or secession of territories that have already been occupied or taken by
Mm.
Russia. And the United States has suggested the same as well. So, in such an event, what is the common ground then?
You know, we don't know all the details of the negotiations, which are now they are on the table, maybe, and even if they are not official, but stay something is in the air, right? We don't know how it could be, but what we know definitely that Ukraine will never accept these territories as Russian. It is the principle of our sovereignty, of our territorial integrity, and we never cancel this position.
Uh, the US has the wherewithal to dry up finances,
Mm.
both militarily and logistically speaking. And what if, or rather, uh, can the US use these as leverages to bring Ukraine to a deal?
Maybe. Maybe it's a very big challenge. Actually, it's a huge threat, and even when Ukraine finally started to produce a lot of equipment and military things by ourselves, still it's not enough, and we are still very dependent from our partners, and it could be a huge problem for
What
us.
if, I mean, speaking of dependency,
Mm.
uh, you have the Ukrainian military is using Starlink and
Yes.
the military intelligence as well. If that too is hypothetically stopped, then in that case,
It could be a disaster, frankly speaking. I don't know exactly in details, but as I know, there is no another option for us with the same capacity as Starlink provides. So it could be a huge threat.
uh, there's been talk about a lot of corruption,
Mhm.
which includes siphoning of money and arms and ammunition that have been leveled charges against the Ukrainian administration, and the West has seems to be apparently fatigued about it. So, in such an event, how do things go from here?
What to say? Of course, there are some cases which are strongly against our image. They destroy a lot of our image, and we try to overwhelmed this, and as we know, many bureaucrats and many people who were engaged in these corruption cases, they have been hired already, right? So we hope to continue this struggle because it is very important for us. We need the trust from our partners, otherwise it could be very difficult to survive.
Can Ukraine handle this war anymore?
We have to, because there is no option for us. It is the war for our independence. If we will stop fighting, there will be no us. That is the answer.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Olena, for taking our time speaking to WION.